Today, we're celebrating toast. Beautiful bread topped with what's on hand. You can always go the jam route, but why not roasted eggplant? Turkish style. Mix it up. It'll be the tastiest toast ever. Toast has been part of the sweet world for far too long. Let's make it savory. Roasted eggplant on toast. Roasted buttercup squash on toast. Stop furrowing your brow. It's going to be delicious. This is all about breaking out of your regular toast routine and making it special. Start by roasting eggplant directly on the flame. You could use a barbecue if you don't have a gas stove, or roast it in the oven, but it won't have that smoky essence that we're looking for here. So let's turn this. There we go, and just leave that to deflate a little bit longer on the other side. Roasted buttercup squash, so delicious and so hard to peel. So I like to just roast it in its skin. It's a little warm to the touch, but just soldier through and scrape off the filling and scoop it into a bowl. I've roasted it in a nice hot oven with some olive oil and sea salt. Yeah. Now, I had squash on toast at a restaurant in New York not too long ago, and I thought, this looks a little bit like baby food, but it tasted like heaven. So don't underestimate the power of smashed squash. Okay, this guy is ready, completely charred and soft inside. Just going to leave it here and let it deflate further and soften and cool a little bit before we turn it into our topping. A little bit more olive oil. Let's soften this. Sea salt and a pinch of chili flakes. It's nice to have some heat with all that sweetness. Squash it up. Did you hear that? Entertaining myself here. I like the rustic texture of a fork smashed squash. You could always use a food processor, but when you use a food processor, you're treading on baby food territory for sure. Too smooth, in my opinion. A little more olive oil, soften things up, add some flavor. Let's have a little taste before we set it aside. Really good olive oil, and I can taste that through the squash. The eggplant is deflated and it's just cooling down, a little hot to the touch. So let's make the garnish for the eggplant. It's called dukkha, and it's an Egyptian spice blend. The recipe varies from village to village and family to family, but it always starts with nuts, usually hazelnuts, but I'm going to use pecan pieces. That's what I have. Looking for some texture and crunch. Some coriander seeds. There's lots of texture and bite, and these almost have like a fresh lemony flavor to them. Sesame seeds. Everyone knows sesame seeds, but it's time to not just connect them to the top of a hamburger bun. And some cumin, whole cumin seed. Ideally, you toast all of these spices individually before you put them in the mortar and pestle. Of course I have. Brings out their flavors. Get your frustrations out and imagine dukkha on fried eggs. Bread all by itself with olive oil. Poached egg. I had dukkha at a cocktail party in London on a teeny tiny quail egg. Dukkha is a fast and simple little thing. All set. Okay, let's have a little visit with this eggplant. Cool enough to touch. Get a bowl, capture all the yumminess inside, slice right through it, spread it open like a book, and scrape out that yummy, soft flesh. Don't worry if little bits of skin creep in. All right, clear up your board. For the toast, of course you could toast your toast in a toaster. I'm going to fry mine in a little olive oil, just because. Flavor first. Garlic is going in just to flavor the oil. It's a little hint of garlic on your toast. Let this go, and let's take a second and just inhale pomegranate molasses. It is so sweet and so tart all at once. It's a fantastic ingredient. So good with eggplant. A nice warm cumin seed. This is ground. And some plain yogurt just to thicken it up and add some creaminess. Okay, some sea salt and black pepper. And to round out that tart pomegranate molasses, a little bit of honey. Okay, mash this all together. This is going to be delicious on toast, but also use it as a dip with all your favorite vegetables. Have a little taste before you toast. She's ready. All right. Move the garlic aside. Hide these little garlic cloves, don't let them burn. And tuck in another lovely rustic piece of crusty bread. This one's sourdough. And toasting your bread is a great way to use up yesterday's loaf that may not be as fresh as you'd like, but it's even better when it's toasted the next day. Just have a little peek. It smells so good. Toast is ready. Choose your very favorite toast board. Yum! Just looking at these little flecks of chili in the squash. Smoky with pomegranate, molasses, a little dukkha, or both. The squash gets some microgreens. I have sweet pea here and some kale microgreens. We are celebrating our toast, eating it with a fork and knife, sitting down, breaking free from our usual jam routine, and smoking eggplant over a hot flame. It's all very safe and dangerous here in the kitchen today. Dig in. That is so good. There's no turning back once you start grilling over the open flame indoors. Don't bring your barbecue inside. I suppose this really is just an open-faced sandwich. But let's celebrate the filling, not hide it between the slices. Open it up. Truthfully yours, roasted eggplant on toast.